Was the original engine, lasted us 40 years, from 1955 till till the windstorm in 1985. During that windstorm, we lost 237 trees. One of the trees landing on the train, killing it, which actually is a good thing, but we won't go there. Where we will go, why would you lose 237 trees in a storm? That's a whole lot of trees. The only time that happens when the previous owners, catch that? Previous owners cut down all the giant redwood trees. Notice all the stumps and sunshine. It was a virgin forest up here last time you were here. You almost need a flashlight any time of day up here. It was a dense virgin forest. So why'd they cut down all the trees? Obviously for money, right? And it was a little bit worse than money. If it could be worse, it was. I'll give you the whole story. Take about a minute and a half. There's a guy named George Hudson. He built the gravity house, 1949. Put in the train, 1955. Everything went smoothly. So he dropped dead, 1985. He died, property went into probate. Eventually his loving children ended up with it. Kids being the way kids are, most of the time. They didn't see it quite the same way his dad did. No, they saw it with great big giant dollar signs everywhere, right? They put it on the market, tried to sell it. Nobody bought it. They had another bright idea. Not the brightest idea. Contacted a local logger, made him a deal he couldn't pass up. Said, you cut down the big trees for us, give us the money, of course. We'll give you the train, the gravity house, the property, and the 2 houses. Not a bad deal for a logger. He got this whole place for doing what he's doing for $150 an hour. Falling trees. Now the logger, being a logger, knew exactly what was going to happen, right? If you do cut down all the 340, 50, 360, 370 foot tall trees on top of a mountain, be a small mountain, but a mountain, you got nothing to block the wind. That's your windbreak. The wind came 2 years later, 1995. Blew down those 237 trees. 237 trees? Whole lot more trees than they were allowed to cut down. There are laws. Can't just cut down all the trees. Took the logger and his 2 sons a year and a half to clean up all the mess and mill up all 237 trees for themselves. They own the men, they own the mill, they own the log trucks. I'm told the logger made well over twice as much money as the kids got for the whole place. Then he turned around and sold it, right, in the year 2000 for about $300,000 more to the current owners. Fortunately, the new owners don't like chopping down trees because there ain't no trees left. That's why when you got on the train, I asked you on the train before, was it prior to 1993, they're all dead? Because I like people to know beforehand. See, I've been driving the train for 21 years. It's my 21st year, so I know the difference. It used to be a great train ride, like I said. It was short, 12 to 14 minutes, but it was a great train ride. Now, it's a 20, 30, 40, if I derail, 50, 60-minute train ride. And it's good, at best. I can only do so much. I can do a little bit of juggling if you really want, but there's only so much I can do. But at least now I can tell you about it. See, I work for the kids, I work for the logger, now I work for the new owner. When I work for the kids, I said, don't mention the fact we cut down the trees. People might notice. Okay. Then I work for the logger, said, say whatever you want about the kids, but don't mention me. Dude, you're the one that cut down all the trees. Okay. Now I work for the new owner. They took over in the year 2000. They had nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. They came on board. They said, you've been here forever. Tell it how it is. That's what I done. I told them how it is. But this year, I'm giving my own 2 cents worth, okay?
Hurry up, my battery's running out.
Or condoned by Confusion Hill. I have 5 stupid kids. I don't own a doggone thing, unfortunately. But if I did own anything, I wouldn't leave a will. Look what happened when George left a will. Kids cut down all the trees. If you have stupid kids too, either spend the money before you go, which is probably best, or leave a living trust. Have it say something like, you got to live here in paradise forever, or walk away with nothing. Because this is a stupid thing to do. They had a cash cow and they threw the cow out the window. That ain't too bright, okay? See, I would have cut down a couple of trees. I inherited it, sure. I cut down a couple of them. Then I'd hire somebody to run this place and get a check every month. Then if I need $100,000, I'll come back 20 years later and I'll fall a tree. Okay? See, the most stupid part, they cut down all these trees in 1993. The price of redwood since 1993 has more than tripled. Imagine if they didn't cut down the trees, and they did. Make 3 times as much money cutting down a third of the amount of the trees. Ain't too bright to cut them all down at once. Selectively cut, right? I mean, I have no problem with cutting down trees, but when people paid good money to ride a train through the forest, and then you cut down the forest, that really ain't too bright. It ain't. All right? My own personal point of view. All right? But I've seen this train lasted us 40 years. I drove for quite a few of them. I really did. I give it a special spot here at Confusion Hill. As you see by my sign, it's now rusting in place. That's kind of rude, huh?